Hi, I'm Erin Matthew with Academic Advancement in Home Tutoring, and in this video today we're going to be talking about how students can raise their ACT scores by preparing for the ACT. And Academic Advancement currently has an average of raising ACT scores by 5 points, so that's great. The first thing that you're going to need as you prepare to take the ACT is a great prep book. And I recommend Barron's ACT Prep. It has a great curriculum review section as well as several practice tests that you can take. As you sit down to take a practice test in a prep book, I recommend that you first time yourself, and it'll tell you how much time you'll have on the real ACT so that you can start to gauge how much time you have for each question. Then once your timer goes off, go back through and spend as much time as you like checking to see if there's any questions that or answers that you would change, or see if you have any questions on anything. Then grade your work and see how well you did. And then you can go back through the curriculum review to make sure that you're getting things accurate. That way you get to work on both your time and your accuracy at the same time. Okay, next let's talk about how to study for the math and science section, some tips for there. Oftentimes after students take the ACT for the first time, they're blown away by the science test because it's unlike any other test that they've ever taken before. The most common mistake that students make when they're preparing for the science test is that if the information is not in the paragraph that you've read or not listed on the graph, it is not going to be the correct answer. So what they're trying to test you on is trying to test you to see how well you can interpret graphs and how well you can interpret experiments. They're not asking you to recall information from your science courses. So if you're pulling up information that's not already written on the test, you're going to get the answer incorrect. So that's one of the most important things you need to remember when you're taking the science test. The other thing that you need to remember as you take the science test is that as the questions move on in each section, they get more difficult. So if you're on the first question in a section and you don't understand it, take the time, go back and review the paragraph or the graph and try to understand it better, because if you miss the first question, chances are you're not going to be able to understand for the further questions. Okay? And as you review for the math section, spend some time in that curriculum review. It's been quite a while for most students by the time they take the ACT, and they don't remember things like their midpoint formula, distance formulas. There's going to be a lot of geometry formulas that you're going to have to know by memory. So make some flashcards, make sure that you are reviewing those math formulas. Now let's do some review for the English and writing and reading sections. So one of the most important things that you can do for the English section is to go back and review some of those rules that you're uncomfortable with. So spend that time in the curriculum review to kind of give yourself a little touch-up. As far as the reading test goes, one of the great myths that people have questions on is, should I read the answers or the questions first and then read the paragraph, or should I read the paragraph first and then read the questions and try to answer them? And honestly, that depends on you and your personal style. That's one thing that you can experiment with as you are taking your practice ACT test. So time yourself both ways and look at your accuracy and your time to see which style will fit you better as you go in to take the real ACT. The best way to prepare also for the reading section is to practice reading. So read lots of different types of material. And to check for comprehension, what you need to do is after each paragraph, stop and think in your mind, what did I just read? And if you don't remember, then you need to go back through and read it again. So give yourself lots of comprehension checks as you're practicing your reading for the ACT. These are some great starter tips as you prepare to take the ACT. The hardest part of preparing for the ACT is knowing how to discipline yourself, set up a study routine, and know where to spend the time as you prepare for the ACT. So for more help with that, Academic Advancement has certified teachers. We can come to you and really pinpoint where you need the help and set up a study routine that will help you to stay on track and make sure that you're preparing well for that ACT. Also, be sure to sign up for our free teacher tips on our website at www.academicadvancement.org. And happy studying. Good luck on the ACT. Thanks.